Hi everybody, this is Angelo Quinones and you reach Iron Ministries. Iron Ministries is designed to give you dependable and accurate answers that come straight from God's holy and inspired word, the Bible. And those words are carefully put together for about, 13 years or 14 years or whatever it is now. Actually, I think it's about, not even that though, I think maybe it's about, I would say the ministry is about 7 years old, so it's not even, you know, half of what I said, but actually it's getting close to 10 years. But this ministry is a twofold ministry. It's an evangelical based ministry, giving out the free gospel of salvation to needy sinners, and it's an apologetics ministry dealing with primarily with so-called Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay, every verse that has to do when you talk to Jehovah's Witnesses. Now we reach the full reconstruction of things. Now, in the beginning part of my ministry, I just dealt with, verses that, popped up in a New World Translation, compared that with dependable Bibles like the NIV, NASB, and King James, kissing cousins. Okay, you understand? And I was content with that. But now, as my Greek improved throughout the years, praise God, He gets the glory, not me. Then I can, get deeper into these texts. Look at the background. Look at the sort of analog, old-fashioned watch or clock, and see how it really ticks. What makes our translations work? Okay, it's not the other way around. We don't look at the English and whatever other base language you got. You look at the original Hebrew and Greek, and we've been doing that for years. Okay. For a few years anyway. Now we're going to be looking at the full reconstruction of every gospel, and there are four of them. Chapter 1 and verse 1. And let's see if we can bring out some of the constructions that are here from there and kind of match them together. And at the same time, let's have fun with the witnesses. Maybe they said something about that doesn't really make sense, and it's really hypocritical. Well, we'll check those things out, especially in Matthew chapter 1 verse 1 according to the Greek. But let's look at this. Over here it says in this great verse of scripture, and verse 2 is just as great. But it's just like Martin Lloyd-Jones pointed out, a mountain in and of itself by itself, okay, let's say if it's standing in London, like he said, I think London, right? And there's nothing else to compare it with. Well, everybody will be talking about that mountain. But since that mountain of verse 2 is next to an even greater mountain in verse 1 right here, well then, it really is overshadowed, okay, by this verse. But verse 2 is just as great. Well, let's get into verse 1. It's also over here. This is the full Greek construction of John 1:1. But we do take detours to other verses that come into play when we're dealing with the witnesses, okay? Full Greek and full Hebrew construction, that's the series. And it says over here in the biblical pronunciation, Energe in halagas, kai halagas in prostanthean, kai theas in halagas. Energe in halagas, kai halagas in prostanthean, kai theas in halagas. Or in the modern pronunciation, it goes something like this. Energiin o logos ke o logos in proston theon ke theos in o logos. Energiin o logos ke o logos in proston theon ke theos in o logos. Okay? Now my wife, Riza, was looking, okay, at a Greek Bible app. And I don't know what verse she had it in. She was maybe about to look at it, or she finished and went backwards. But I knew it was a Greek app because I recognized it. So I wonder what she was looking at. It's one of those mysteries, you know what I mean? Now we see, okay, and let's pick up the nominative case. Let's check out the nominative case, the case of designation, okay? That there are 4 Greek words right here that actually is in a nominative case, construction. Not all of them are functioning as the subject nominative. Okay, not all as the subject, of the clause, like theos in John 1:1c. That's not the subject. Okay, the subject is still logos or logos. It's still that. But the thing is, it's still in the nominative. This is a predicate nominative. It has to match the construction of the subject. It has to that sort of adjective, predicate adjective, has to match the construction of the subject nominative. It has to match the construction of what logos is in, and logos is in the nominative case or the subjective case in English. Okay. Thing about Cebuano, I'm not a Filipino. I'm married to a Filipino. I relocated from the United States of America way back in 2018. I say way back, even though it's 2021, because it seems like 20 years. When you hear it, it seems like that. Goodness gracious, the years are long. The days are long. They're long days, I'll tell you. Okay, and so what they do in their language, they actually put, okay, all right, yes, yeah, outside, be careful.
No, Papa.
Okay, good. They actually they put their verb first, okay, in their language. So I mean that's kind of interesting because we put the verb after the subject, okay, in English, but in Greek you can have the verb almost anywhere, okay, in a clause. Okay, I mean you can have it anywhere. It doesn't have to be in the middle. It doesn't have to be in the beginning. It doesn't have to be in the end. It could be anywhere, and that's really for emphasis or whatever the case may be. Okay. Now, there's three constructions in the nominative case. Let's look at, and this is an easy one. I mean, logos. I mean, that's a second declension or what, right? That's a word ending in the stem omicron or omicron. Now, I hate what's going on nowadays. I mean, I hate that the virus is around. I'm not talking about that, but I hate that they're using Greek letters because now I have to sort of when I'm introducing the Greek to people, right? Now I have to say, well, delta is not a virus, is a Greek letter. Omicron or Omicron is not a it wasn't originally known as a. All of these letters have meanings, like the sigma means to synchronize, so that's probably they use it for the future transformative, and so alpha means rising, and you know what I mean. So and beta, nowadays called beta, means basis, right? And gamma is like a stem of a plant, right? And it's perfect for the first letter in Genesis, or to beget, right? So, and theta in and of itself means, nowadays called theta, means divine. So all of these letters mean something. Okay, they mean something. I mean, parakisma, which was the original, last letter in Greek, not omega, that means pregnancy. It has to do with pregnancy. But imagine God saying, I'm the beginning of the pregnancy. It doesn't make sense. So that thank God that letter was dropped off. Okay, even though the word omega doesn't mean end. It doesn't mean end in and of itself. God chose the letter because that was the last letter at that time of John. That's the last letter of the Greek alphabet. But logos is in the stem of logos. Okay, logos is loga, okay, or logo, right? And so usually those sort of words end in the final sigma, and in the final sigma. Okay, the stem of arche is actually arche is and that's a first declension word, and that's because that's a word ending in an eta. Okay, so that's first declension, and then you have words ending in a consonant, and that's third declension. So this word is found 330 times in the Greek New Testament. Logos, it actually is found and recorded In verse 6 of Psalm 32 in the Greek Septuagint. Now remember that the word Septuagint means 70. It comes from the Latin Septuaginta, which means 70. Because perhaps 72 Jewish scholars, remember 12 tribes times 6 is 72, actually worked in the Greek Septuagint like, 3rd or 2nd century BC, and was completed around the 2nd century BC. Now also known as BCE and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Remember that the Greek word we said before, is found and recorded 55 times in the Greek New Testament. As a matter of fact, NRK is found over here in verse 2 in the prologue, and in verse 15 of chapter 4 of Philippians, so we already saw that. And of course, it's found and recorded in the verse, and it goes something like this, NRK, I'll say it in a biblical sense. Energie in halagos, energie epoiesen hatheas tan uranan kaitain gain. Okay, and so actually that construction of God creating, something is not here in the text. Okay, it doesn't say energie epoiesen hatheas tan lagan, and I switched the construction because in that scenario, logos will be the subject, or will be actually the object of creation, of God's creation. You see how that was switched from, logos, subject, right, to lagan, with an N, nowadays called ni. But let's look at another construction that we could dime on the witnesses. Now, what do you mean? Well, let's go to Matthew chapter 1, verse 1, because they like to say that if something doesn't have an article, it's indefinite. Well, we will see that's not the case. It says over here in verse 1 of chapter 1 of, and I'll press cancel because then my recording is going to stop, of Matthew, of Mattheon, right? It says over here, Biblos geneseos Jesu Christu. Okay, and it goes, it says over here, son is in the genitive case, huiu, David, son of, says over here, of huiu, it says over here in the genitive, Abraham, and that's the verse. So the verse has actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Greek words. It's a very small text. It's not as small as Jesus wept. That has 2 Greek words, right? Jesus wept. It has a subject and a verb, right? And so that's just the deal there. Jesus and a word for wept. Yeah, I don't know. Probably around verse 35 or something like that of chapter 11. We could look at that. Maybe in the study of John's Gospel. Incidentally, I was speaking to a JW, and it's kind of funny. He said that the woman at the well appears in chapter 11. I mean, come on, man. I mean, they don't know. I mean, how can you say the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman, which everybody knows is in chapter 4 of John, okay, appears in chapter 11? I mean, give me a break. The woman at the well appears in chapter 11. I mean, that's how biblically illiterate they are, some of these witnesses. Now, some of these, egghead witnesses are around, like Tony from Florida, what I'm saying? And they, like their Greek lexicons and stuff like that, and I do as well. I mean, I like Kittle's and George Riker Berry's, and Mouse's Complete Expository Dictionary, and Vine's also by the same title of Old and New Testament words. And I mean, so I like Kittle's, I like Thayer's, I like all these Greek lexicons. Brown Driver and Briggs is impeccable, in the Hebrew side of things. There's nothing really better than that. This thing's comparable to that, and maybe it's a tie. But the one that I have it must have taken an immense amount of work to do. Basically, it's written mostly in Hebrew, and you gotta know your Hebrew to find the stuff. Okay, so when you're looking at Ara, they'll give you the construction found and recorded in verse 12 of chapter 53 of Isaiah, and then there might be another construction found and recorded in Genesis chapter 24 verse 20, but it's the same word. And it says that the same word for Jesus pouring out his soul unto death, meaning that he just, the soul vacated the body, the soul wasn't destroyed, was the same word, ara, found and recorded. Okay, it's probably ayin or aleph, for the silent letter, and then resh, and then probably another silent letter again, like aleph, and um, even though ayin is sort of peculiar. Okay, understand? So the thing is that, it's the same word for Rebecca emptying her pitcher of water, and the water wasn't destroyed, so you can use that for the witnesses. All right, now so let's check this out. Now they say the book in their translation. Now over here doesn't say the. It would be hard to match the the biblos is coming up, the nominative construction, nominative singular and masculine construction of this Greek word. Okay, ha biblos, and you have to be careful with that though. I mean, just there's some words that are second declension words are not all masculine. Okay, like hadas, and that kind of matches the Hebrew because Derek like, well, not that it matches Derek, but I'm just trying to say that that the other Greek words are also feminine, like the word for truth and the word for life, Zoe. Those are also feminine Greek words. So I mean, they're all feminine adjectives for Christ our Lord. So hadas doesn't look like that, but it is feminine though. So it's kind of funny, strange, So biblos is in a nominative case, just like logos. So it's in a nominative case construction. Okay, now everything else basically is in a genitive case. We don't have a genitive case in John 1:1. We have it in actually in John 1:3. Okay, panta di autu egeneta or egeneto. And but all things were all things emerged or came into being, okay, through and via autu, okay, because dia takes the genitive there, okay, autu, right, from the autos paradigm, autos, autu, auto, autan, what I'm saying. So the thing is that that's in a genitive case. So there's a lot of genitives here. The genitive case, and then you have of the genealogy, and you have over here geneseos, that's in the genitive, and Yesu is in the genitive, and you know that because of Christou. Okay? There's no preposition here to help you out, there's no article. So remember that Yesu, the word Yesu, Yeshua is the Hebrew, Jesus is the Spanish, right? Two cases share the same construction, which is the dative and this one the genitive. Now, how do you know this is in the genitive? Well, the upcoming word fully inflects, so Christos, or Christos, and Christou, Christo, and Christan, or whatever the case may be, if you want to use another pronunciation. Okay, so Christou actually is in a genitive case. So that's why you know that Yesu is in a genitive case. Okay, there's no article, there's no function article here, to point that out. So basically, you're at the whim of the context, the book of the genealogy of Jesus Christ. Okay, and then you see son of. Okay, and that's a genitive of relationship there. That's under the category of the genitive of relationship. Okay, son of Dawid, another genitive of relationship, son of, Abraham. Okay, so you have two relationships here. The relationship between Jesus and David, and then the relationship between David, okay, being the son of Abraham, okay, is under the same family tree. This is the royal line, by the way. Now, because there were two genealogies, one that was cursed according to, I think, Jeremiah, and then verse 11 of chapter 1 of Matthew. That was the cursed line. That was Joseph's line, right? And then Mary's line was the royal line, the legal line, says Dr. Barnhouse, right? And so when the two got married, the two lines are exhausted. And so Dr. Barnhouse said that anybody who says that he's the Messiah, okay, apart from Jesus, is the son of the devil. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just to deal with that. No, so Biblos is in the nominative case. So you already learned that when you see like Biblos and Logos and Theos and Anthropos and Angelos and things like that, and Petros, and you know, you're actually seeing the nominative case. So, you know, it's just it's an O ending. This kind of a second declension word, Biblos, is an O ending stem, you know. And so what they did, they put an S or a sigma, okay, to give it a case. Not to change the case ending. Yeah, I disagree when people say to change the case ending, because it's not like it's originally one case, and then they change, and then they're taking out the iota subscript or whatever the case may be, or the new. No, you don't write it like that. You don't write, okay, all right, biblon, and then you erase the new. You're just adding, okay, a letter to put, okay, it into a particular case, to make the construction fit the way that you want it to work. Okay. So Biblos. And so you see that that the other words are in the genitive case, the case of definition, description, or attribution. It is the richest of the cases. Now remember, I said that there are really 8 cases in Greek, and a lot of people like to teach 4 or 5, not even 5, just 4. But they're forced to teach 5 because they're forced to admit, grudgingly so, that the vocative or the vocative is a case. Okay, that was always up for debate. Even that's recorded in the Manual Grammar of the Greek New Testament by Dana and Manti. You know, when they talk about the genitive case. Okay, when they're talking about all the cases, when they're naming all the cases, when they're getting through the list, which goes like this: the nominative case and the genitive case, the vocative case, the dative case, the accusative case, the instrumental case, and then the ablative case, and the locative case. So they don't use like 3 of those cases anymore. They're there, but they just don't. They don't say that something is in the what do you call it, in the locative case or the instrumental case, the case of means. You know, instrumental case and the ablative case that has to do with separation. You know, they made applesauce out of some of the cases and came up with 5, deleting or blotting, no pun intended, 3, okay, away from the 8, and so they're down to 4 or 5, Well, the genitive case is very rich. I mean, the case of that's the case of description and or possession, and so you have the genitive of time. Nicodemus came to Jesus by night, and then the genitive of place, Luke chapter 16, and the story of the rich man in hell in Tacha. And then you have, genitive of relationship is here. This is called, if I were to name this, the use, give it a use, under the umbrella of the genitive case, what's the use of it? There's several. Okay, the partitive genitive, the adverbial genitive, it has a lot of uses. So you have to pick one that it fits, and I will pick the genitive of relationship. That's what I choose to give this under. Okay. All right. So now I said that ha is not here. This is very interesting. Let's check out the New World Translation. Okay, understand what I'm saying? Let's check that out. Now, where is that at though? Let me see. It is this one right here. Okay. I remember the original New World Translation came around 1950. Very hypocritical because they were selling the King James at the time. Okay. Understand what I'm saying? So that's just it. Now let's go to the New Testament. It might be an advertisement there because there's always advertisement. They're always selling jelly beans. You know what I'm saying? So that's just it. So let's just see what we can do here. Open. I mean, I don't know what this is. I don't want to open any of these commercials. They always have commercials on this New World Translation, app. Okay, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Okay, I mean, it really is. I mean, maybe I could do this again. They always have these advertisements. Really a pain to get rid of. I don't see. Oh, the X is on up there. All right, so let's get to Matthew because that's what we're dealing with. And let's go to chapter 1 and verse 1, and we see right off the bat that they have "the" there, but there's no "the" there. It says over there the book of the history, okay, of Jesus Christ. That's correct. Son of, that's correct because it's Huiu, David. Okay, son of Abraham. It says over here, so that's correct. Everything is correct. Okay. Everything is correct over here. It's a good translation, if they were translating it. And so, but the word "the" is not there. And this is the Greek here. Okay. The New World Translation has "the book," but it only has "book" here. Look at it. You can even tell that. If you don't even know Greek, you can say, okay, Bible is Bible, E. But over here is Biblos, or beta, iota, beta, lambda, omicron, sigma, or nowadays vita, iota, vita, lambda, omicron, final sigma, okay, or sigma. Now, there's no ha there. There's no article there. No article. Now, if it was in Hebrew, the article will be a hey, it will be ha, the same sort of article. I could open it up there. Let's see if there's an article there in the Hebrew app. I hope I can find it easily. The Hebrew side of things. I should put that in a separate place because it's very, let me see here. It's not that easy to find because I'm visually impaired. So the deal is, yes.
Papa,
Yes.
excuse me.
That's my stepfather, huh?
My chips.
Oh, okay. Wait for a second. Okay, let me just pause this because she wants chips. Okay, let me see. Where's my? Wait for a second. I can't pause it. So bring me back the change, okay? Where's my? Look at my. See, my wallet is over there, sweetheart. See, my wallet is over there. In the bottom one. All right. Yeah, that's it right there. Here, let me have it. I can hear it. It's my keys. Here, throw it. So, but wait a minute, I got change over here. Oh, I got change. See if somebody has hoppy money in some place. I say hoppy. Okay, you think you could do that for me? I don't think there is though. So what's this over here? Be truthful.
5.
Okay, 5. So, because I don't know Philippine money. I'm recording, by the way. How much is this?
5.
Okay, 5. So how much is this over here?
100.
100. Listen, just give me the change back. Just buy the chips for you, like 10 peso, and then see if you can get me happy money over there from there. If you can't, just bring the extra change, okay? Okay, sweetheart. My name is Mary, by the way. My stepdaughter here in the Philippines. Okay, so that's good. I'm sorry about that, guys. Now, I hope this is the Hebrew side of things. I'm going to be very disappointed. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. So let's check out if there's a hey there, because their H can act as an article, okay, tagged in front of a Hebrew what. So let's check that out. Okay, so share. I pressed share, though. This is supposed to be start, though. Okay, so let's look at Matthew. You understand what I'm saying? Right over here. Okay, all right. Remember that you read Hebrew from right to left. Naba from left to right. Okay, like you do English and Cebuano and all this other stuff. You know, so. Now, verse 1 says over here, there's no article there. Okay? There's no article, tafar or something like that for book. Okay, there's no article there. Okay, and then it has Yeshua there. Yeshua right over there. Yeshua Hamashiach. Actually, it's an article there. Hamashiach. It's actually not Mashiach, but Hamashiach. Okay? You got the mem, you got the sheen, you got the vowel, yod acting like a vowel, and then you got the chet. And so you have the heyday. So you have an article in front of, Messiah, but you don't have an article in front of Yeshua, which is yod, sheen, and then vav or wow, and then ayin. Okay, but you have the word for book here. Okay, and then actually that's a samic though, samic pei and resh. Okay, safar. I forgot how to say book in Hebrew though, but because I don't have the diacritics right here, so this is I'm on my own. But I know the letters, but it's like safar or something like that, safar or safar. But there's no article there. Okay, so that's just to deal with that. So they're going by. If you look at let's check out the Greek. If you look at a new, well, I don't have it handy with me in the Philippines. Shucks, I wish I had it though. That would be fun to look at. But you can do this though. You can look at and I'm gonna see if I can actually get some Amazon, because maybe I can have it from my phone and then I can study along with you guys. That'll be kind of neat. That'll be kind of nice though. Maybe the printed copies are not available. I actually have to put some in my Amazon cart, because I had like 60 things and they're all gone because I haven't used Amazon in about a year. And when I looked back, I saw the number of the cart and it just vanished and it turned to 0. I hate when it does that. You know what I mean? You put all these things in your cart and then you don't use it for about 7 months or whatever it is, and it's gone. And at least on the phone. In my computer, it used to be there for about like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Wish list and all that jazz. But New Testament Greek manuscript, a New Testament Greek manuscript by, there's no A, just New Testament Greek manuscripts by Reuben Swanson, edited and arranged by Reuben Swanson and forwarded by the great Greek scholar Bruce Metzger. He has all these volumes of the New Testament. At least I saw most of them. I had about 7 of them. I had all the Gospels, Romans and Acts, and I got that primarily because of the King James controversy, and those books. And then I have 1 Corinthians and Galatians, and I think I skipped 2 Corinthians because there's basically no great controversy there, too much with JWs and King James only advocates, which is another cult. In fact, I love the King James, but the people who say that's the standard, the King James is the standard, they don't even know what they're talking about. This stuff is the standard in the Hebrew that we just saw, but of course in the Old Testament side of things, is the standard, and throw in there Aramaic as well. Okay. Now, so let me see over here. Yeah, this is better. So Biblos, it says a Biblos Geneseos, Jesu Christu, Huiu David, Huiu Abraham. Okay. Now you see that Abraham and David and all these names here, some of these names don't inflect. Okay. If they're in an objective case, right, or the accusative case construction, which is the case of limitation as to extent, and you see that recorded in a royal example, Acts chapter, Praxis Apostoloni, Acts of the Apostles, chapter 22, verse 9, and chapter 9, verse 7 in the King James. I mean, that's a contradiction. And NIV and NASV gets it right that they didn't understand the voice. Understanding the accusative case, the limiting nature of the accusative, that it limits as to extent. The extent of the hearing is being limited there. Okay? Now, the genitive case is also the case, a sort of limitation, but as to kind. What kind of a heart? What kind of a kingdom? Okay? Manual Grammar of the Greek New Testament points that out by Dana and Manthe in a royal way. So you have a nominative case here, biblos, and everything else basically is in the genitive case. Huiu, okay, Yesu, Christu, Huiu again, and Abraham and Dawi doesn't inflect at all here. Okay, it's just the same all across the board. Okay, even if you read verse 2, it says Abraham, right? Okay, fathered, or, and that's in the aorist tense over there, that's the augment epsilon right there. Egenese, fathered who? Fathered, okay, Tan, Yisya, uh, Ishak, Isaac, okay? Ishach, okay, in Hebrew. That doesn't inflect. And so yeah, that's just the deal. You don't see these words inflecting over here, Isaac de egenese atan. See, that's the singular accusative masculine article. Okay, like tantheon in John 1:1 b. Okay, it says Yaakov. Yaakov actually in the Greek over here, and that's not inflecting anything. In Yaakov, same construction. Okay, so you see, the the subject of the sentence. Okay, Yaakov fathering somebody, right? And the Greek word "and" over there for de postpositive, right? But it doesn't inflect. It's the same construction. I'm trying to say. Okay, you know what I mean? So some words inflect and some words, don't. And Jesus, we already pointed that the word Jesus, which is found and recorded 917 times in the Greek New Testament, actually 1,241 times in the NIV and only 971 times in the King James. So I guess that we didn't delete Jesus after all in the NIV. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? That's according to the Strong's a concordance of the King James, which is the greatest concordance that I ever saw, and the strongest concordance of the NIV, which is really, really nice. Let's look at another pet. Now, we already saw that. So they're picking and choosing, where to have the word "the" there. Biblos, they added the word "the" in their English text, the book. But why don't they say a book? Okay, if they want to follow the argument of that, what they make according to John 1:1c, that it's a God, because it doesn't have an article. Listen, Dan Wallace says that there are 10 different ways that a Greek noun can be definite without an article, and there are two ways. Now I'm saying there are two ways. There are two examples of that. Okay, in John 1:1a and c. Okay, arche is anarthrous. There's no te there. Okay, that's te is feminine singular and dative. Okay, te, it will be ti now nowadays, right? Now won't be te, will be ti, just like e Turquía and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Versus o Canada, like that. And so that's just the deal. So you can't pick and choose. They put a because it doesn't have an article meaning theos. Okay, this is an artist there. There's no article. And this is an artist over here, meaning no article, right? And then they put the. That's hypocritical. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. And also, in the beginning, in, let me see that New World Translation. So let me get it. Okay, see over here. Where is it there? This is their stuff right here. Okay, all right. So, let's see here. Can I get back there? Let me see. I can't. Let me try it again here. In the beginning, and there's no te there. So there's no the in John 1:1a, and there's no the in Matthew chapter 1 verse 1. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So they're being a little hypocritical. They're picking and choosing where to put the word. And I said, let's go to John. Well, it says over here, right? Now, there's another translation in the 1950 New World Translation, but anyway. This is their app, and it says in the beginning. But this not just no. This is just bring up the Greek. Okay, all right. There's no, and actually, let's go to another book of the Bible. Okay, right there. There's no the there. It doesn't say ente arche. It doesn't say that at all. It doesn't say this is there's 24 articles in the biblical Greek paradigm. I'll call it right. 24 articles. 12 in the singular and 12 for the plural. Haheta, tutestu, toteto, tantentan, hoihaita, with an alpha this time, and ton ton ton, tois tais tois, and then tus tas ta. All those 24 articles, okay, are part of the article paradigm. There is no indefinite article paradigm, by the way. You can tell the witnesses. There's no anas and mia and anna like the modern Greek has. They have an indefinite article paradigm. There is no such thing according to biblical Greek. Okay, as I squeeze the last breath, That's just the deal. Now, anarche is here, no ente arche. Now, there are other prepositional phrases. I can pick and choose here that has a te. That is not one of them in auto, right? Okay, all right. And so where's one example here? Okay. I put my foot out on a limb. And it has to be in the prologue. I did see it though. I don't know why I'm not seeing it now. Maybe I skipped it. Brother, let me see. Oh, it might be, I'm looking for N, but it's probably para or something like that. So I'll look back though. Okay, all right. So that's just it. I think that it's more farther than, let me just go back to the beginning here. And maybe it's para or something like that, and I'm just looking for N, So I'll look for another preposition. There are about 17 small prepositions in auto. All right. So let's go slowly here. All right. Oh, there it goes. Ente scatia in darkness. Okay. And the darkness comprehended it not. You understand what I'm saying? So it says away ente. You see the iota subscript underneath the eta there. Nowadays called eta in that article, the feminine singular dative article. It's not there. You see? So tell them that verse 5 has a te. Over here doesn't have a te. It is needed. That's the point. It doesn't need the article. Theos doesn't need an article in the predicate position. It's definite by nature there because of the context, and also predicate adjectives normally appear without an article anyway, and that's how you can tell that it's a predicate adjective for the most part. From an attributive adjective, okay, that has an article, okay? And then you have your substantival adjectives, and stuff like that, So, and adverbial adjectives and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. Positive degree adjectives, comparative degree, superlative degree, great, greater, greatest, like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the deal. Now, so that was hypocritical. So we caught him in a crime. That saying the Bible, and it's not, it's not really a crime to put the, but I'm just saying if you put the there and it's a nartis, why not have theos being okay, all right, definite. Now let's check out another text. So that's Matthew, and we checked out John. Let's check out Mark and see if there's anything that we could poke a hole in the witnesses. A case, no pun intended. We're talking about the genitive case and stuff like that. Okay. Well, so here, arche tu, okay, that's tricky. Euangelio, actually, of the gospel there. That's in the genitive. Euangelio, okay, Yesu, Christu. Okay, son huiu to Theou, actually, son of God this time. You understand what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's check this out. Let's see what we can poke a hole in a witness's case. The beginning of the gospel. Interesting. Arche, Okay, two. Now, I can check that out. The beginning of the gospel? Well, there's no the here. There's no they. So it would be, if it was necessary, te arche tu, Evangeliu, que Jesu, Christu. You understand what I'm saying? Son, and that's the genitive relationship again. Okay, son of God, and tu teu is in a genitive case also. So teu is in a genitive case. Okay, the genitive of relationship here is the son of God. Okay, and the article is present there. Is the tu is present there in the text, but let's check out, okay, the NASB. Now, where's the NASB? Did I move it someplace? Okay, let's see what I can do here. Wait for a second. Sorry about that, guys. I want the NASB very handy. Somebody moved it. I hate when people use my phone. Okay? Because, like I said, I'm visually impaired and I have to find all these apps. And I think, is it right there, though? It's hard to find. Yeah, I know you guys saw it already, but me, it's a different case. No pun intended again. Okay? So let me see if I see some kind of King James or something like that, okay? King James, NIV, kissing cousins, that's just what they'll rippling or what. I have a heart attack, but that's just what they'll. It's tough. This is Genesis, though, so that's not gonna cut it. You understand what I'm saying? Let's go to. I was reading Mark, so let's go there. You understand what I'm saying? So let's go there. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just it. So it was Mark that we were dealing with. And where's my change from my stepdaughter? I don't want to hear any mumble jumble. As over here in the King James, okay, the beginning. Okay, all right, acceptable. Okay, acceptable. NIV, the beginning of the good news about Jesus, the Messiah, the Son of God. Okay, the Son of God. The Son of God over there. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? The Son of God. Now, it says over here, the Son of God also found and recorded in King James. But let's look at it. But the argument is not what the King James and NIV is doing. The argument that we can use with all these verses of ones, okay, concerning the gospel. And we saw the argument in John 1c, and that's part of us one, so that's just a deal. Predicate position, nominative case, like that. So, but let's look at okay, now did I get Mark though? Did I get Mark? I forgot Mark. Let's look at Mark according to the New World Translation. And it goes something like this. Blah. Okay, not to be so stark. Like there's a cute marker on the or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? The beginning of the good news about Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Yeah? What you get me, my love?
Money, that's 5 ba? This one ba?
Oh, this? Okay, you got me that? Okay, fine. Where's my change?
Yeah, 60.
60? What you get? That's 80. Okay.
Yes.
20? You got 20, Shu?
No, because
No, because what?
Megan
And I'm
is
doing a
over
study,
there.
so hurry up.
Megan is also in them. Give me 1 year.
Ah, come on. So that's 50. That's what you got? That's 15. What you got? How many is this? What's this? What's that?
Just juice and I buy chips because
Oh.
mommy said
Because
that
mommy said.
the kuan papa ba that
That's okay. That's okay. I'm just
want
kidding.
to pray ba?
Yeah. Get out. That's. I love you too much. Okay. Okay. Move. Shoot. All right. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Give me one.
No, that's mine. What, you want peanut?
No.
Oh, no, you have to buy? Where's my change? Where did you get these peanuts, by the way, Ninit?
Yeah.
Good. Tell her I said hello, by the way. Okay, tell her I said hello. Where's my change? Did it fall here? Where's my change?
No.
No, my change. It was, or did I have it here or something?
Oh my God.
No, well, listen, I'm 56. When you get my age, let's see if you are so like that. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, wait for a second. What's this? And be truthful, don't lie.
No,
What's that?
that's 5.
I'm doing Bible study.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
God, you know.
yeah.
Okay, bye. Get one for her. Tell her I say hello, but don't tell your mom. Because she's very jealous. You know what I'm saying? Promise me you say hello. Okay, close the door, my love. Thanks, okay? Yeah, my wife is very jealous. I mean, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, my Lord. But God is jealous too, and so are his people. And this ain't there. The beginning. Well, there's no the. No, it's the word arche. Let's get to it, guys. So this is kind of fun. You know, I didn't know that I could find something in Mark. I mean, goodness gracious. It's like finding gold. You know what I'm saying? Gold in your teeth. It says over here, arche. Okay? Arche. Arche tu euangeliu. Okay, and then the cute markers there, so I can do that, you know. Euangeliu. Okay, that's okay, fine. I'm sorry about that. Evangelical. Jesus Christo. Okay, all right. Who are you? It says over here, Tu Theo, Son of God. And God is in a genitive case, a construction. But you see over here, listen, guys. There's a capital to boot in the alpha, is which means rising, by the way. And arche, it'll be the paradigm. I never saw the paradigm, but it might go something like this: arche, arches, arche with a narrow subscript, and archein. Okay, and see one that's in the plural, actually in verse 10 of chapter 1 of Hebrews, that in the beginnings you lay the foundation of the foundation and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not to butcher the scripture stuff, you know. All right, now, okay, that's just a deal. So we have an argument with according to the now. Okay, it's kind of easy because I'm kind of giving you this in an easy way to remember. Okay, all right. Mark chapter 1 verse 1, Matthew chapter 1 verse 1, Genesis or actually, also Genesis chapter 1 verse 1, but they'll have the same thing probably there. And then John chapter 1 verse 1. Okay. There's no the in the Greek here, okay, in Matthew chapter 1 verse 1 and in John chapter 1 verse 1, okay? But, now remember about the resurrection of Jesus. John breaks up the set. That's what I'm scared about looking in Luke chapter 1 verse 1, okay? It might not correspond. What am I talking about? Well, I mean, remembering the resurrection, he is risen, that phrase, well, that's recorded in verse 6 of chapter 24 of Matthew. Mark chapter 16 verse 6 and Luke chapter 24 verse 6. John breaks up the set and puts it in not the last chapter but the second to last chapter, chapter 20 verse 9. But he's the beloved disciple when Jesus loved, so he could do what he wanted. That was just all the story. All right, so not really though, but Now let's go to Luke chapter 1 verse 1 in the Greek, and let's see what that says. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I hope I can read it. It says over here, epedeper. Okay, it says over here, epedeper. Okay, paloi. Oh, paloi. It says over here, jeresan, okay, anataxas, this is a hard word to say here. That's a preposition, not probably. Anataxas thigh, okay, dinegesin, peri, in the genitive here, ton, okay, pepler, and then, okay, aforemenon, okay, and humin, okay, and humin, and it says over here, pragmaton, okay. Now, what can we pick from here that the witnesses, okay, did? What can we pick from here that the witnesses did? Not necessarily wrong, because it's not that they did something wrong in verse 1 of chapter of the both chapters. Okay, Mark chapter 1, verse 1, and what is it? Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. It's not that. It's just that they were forced to do something that's very normal. You know what I'm saying? Like all the Bibles have it. I mean, we just saw the NIV and the King James. Okay, is that what I'm saying? So that's just the deal. So let's see, okay, what maybe they did not have to. Let me see over here, what they did, okay. Concerning ton among, that'll be among us, not in us, but among us there. That'll be among, that translation for the preposition among us. All right. Let's look at this thing. Okay, let's look at it. Now, let's check this out though. Let's see over here. Okay. This is kind of easy to do. Now, Paloy, that's easy. I'm not for taking, no. Let me see over here. What could be the argument? Reduplicating consonant over there, P with a connecting vowel epsilon there. Okay. Among, see, that's a proper translation. Among us. See, I knew that wasn't in us, but among us. You understand what I'm saying? Among us. Okay, all right. Things. Okay. Let's see here. Basically, there's nothing here that I can poke a hole in the witnesses. I mean, this is really nothing here. The only thing, okay. The only thing, I mean, there's really nothing there's nothing to use for Luke chapter 1, verse 1. I mean, there's really nothing here. There's nothing here. I mean, you know, there's no argument here that I can. I mean, the Bible and there's nothing here though. Let's look at their translation to see if it doesn't match a good translation, like the Greek interlinear that I just saw. So let's go back though. Okay, let's go back again. Let's go back. No, go back. No, I don't want to go back that far. It was Luke. It's really nothing. But let's look at it. We can see something. We'll see something wrong in our translation, okay? All right, seeing that it says many have undertaken to complete an account of the facts that are given full credence among us. Uh, it's really nothing there. Just as we these were handed down to us by those from the beginning from the beginning were eyewitnesses and at attent what is this over here, attendance of the message could it be of the message? Let's look at this again. Could it be of the message of a message? Well, let's just check that out. Let's go to verse 2. Okay, so let's just see. Maybe I can use that. Having of the what? Lagu. Very interesting. Lagu, tu lagu there of the message. So there's an article there, tu. Okay. There's an article there too, though. Lagu. We have to look at the different various constructions. Let's look at this over here, the Greek over here of this, though, and let's go to verse 2. And then let's go all the way to the end, though, and see if we could see something. Tu lagu. So there's an article there. Tu lagu, the message. Now remember that logos means also, message. It can refer to a message. Okay, message on a page. The word found and recorded in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 17. I think chrema. I think. What is that? Let me see that. Let me see if I can find that there in Ephesians. Let me see Ephesians here. Let me see Ephesians. Colossians. Ephesians is right here. So, chapters. There's only 6 chapters. Chapter 6 and verse 17. Okay, actually, see right here. It's actually verse 20. And so maybe we can use the word the message like that. They say a message. There's probably different manuscripts maybe they're going by. Probably harema is a Greek word for a word here. The sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Let's see that. The word is the word of God. It's not logos here. I know that for sure. Which is the word of God, theo. Okay. And it's, hrema. Hrema is the word. Yeah. Hro, with the rough breathing marker. So the and then eta, mu. Nowadays called me. Sometimes people call it mu. And then alpha, hrema. That's message there. Okay. Is este right there. Is the word of God. It could be este and it could be este, new movable stuff like that, So, and that's a relative pronoun there, because of you can see the cute marker there. Relative pronoun, singular, neuter, a relative pronoun. Okay, that's neuter. That's a neuter side of the paradigm. Okay, so that's just it right there, from the ha side of the paradigm. You understand what I'm saying? Relative pronoun. So I guess the only thing that we could use is go to verse 2. So it does break up the set a little bit, Luke. I wish I could find something recorded in verse 1. Probably I can find something in the future. I have to look at it word for word. I have to kind of look through and see. Maybe I could poke a hole in something in their verses. Seeing that many have undertaken. Okay, that seems okay. To complete and account of the facts, okay, that are given full credence among us. Okay, I mean, verse 2 is the only thing of the, you know what I mean? This only, I mean, of the message. Well, they say of the message also. So there's nothing there to poke a hole there. An account, I mean, an account, that's indefinite there, an account, verse 1, to us. Verse 2, just as these were, okay, handed down to us by those who from the beginning, let's check out the beginning. Okay. Let's see if our case there. Let's check this out. Let's check that out here. So let's go to verse 1. Okay. Is that no, that's not even Luke though. That's not Luke at all. Okay. So let's look at Luke, mark your Luke in verse 1 from the beginning, and that's in verse 2, right? Let's check that out. Kathos, that's as. Okay, pare dasan, hemin hoi, and that's hoi, that's the arches right here. Arches is in the genitive. Ap or apo, apa is actually taking the genitive here. Arches, okay. So it doesn't say, it would be genitive. So let's check that. It would be so this is a genitive. So that'll be feminine construction. So that'll be in singular. That'll be tes. There is no, okay. Ap is short for apa, right? That's an apostrophe there. I mean, that's just that's an elision, right? Taking the place of the omicron there because the alpha is coming up next, so they dropped off the vowel in the preposition apa. So they just say ap arche is better than apa arche. They don't like the you know. So it's in verse 2, but I wanted it in verse 1. I couldn't get it, but I have it in verse 2. So actually, the business is actually okay. In John chapter 1, verse 1, there's no te in before arche. There's no ha in front in John chapter 1, verse 1. There's no ha, definite article in front of book, and then they say the book, and then they say the beginning, in those two books and chapters and verses. You understand what I'm saying? John chapter 1, verse 1, and Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. And well, and sort of the same thing is found and recorded, okay, all right, in Mark, okay, we saw this. Let's just remind ourselves of it, okay, all right. So it says over here, okay, arche, okay, the beginning of the gospel, the beginning of the gospel. So it doesn't say that here. It doesn't say te. So basically, all of these arguments, okay, in every single gospel, the gospel kata, Mattheon, Markon, Lucan, and Ioannin, okay, Yachanan in Hebrew, Ioannin, all of them have to do, okay, over here with no article, but yet they say the. So it doesn't say ha biblos, it says biblos. Yet they put an article. Over here in Mark, it says okay, arche tu euangeliou. In English, we would say the beginning of the gospel, but they say the. Listen, that's a proper way to do it. I'm not saying that that's improper, but I'm saying you can't make something definite, okay, when you want to make it definite. And you can't make something indefinite when you want to make it indefinite, like in John 1. We'll see what they're trying to do. You understand what I'm saying? Over here, according to, and this is a blessing that we could just poke something and we just could get all the gospels. I mean, that's kind of incredible. In Luke, we don't have it in verse 1, but we do have it in verse 2. Okay, where it says, okay, where it has another prepositional phrase. You understand what I'm saying? Remember, there was one found and recorded in John chapter 1, verse 1, and arche. There's another one, apa or ap arches. Arches is in a arche is in a genitive, a singular feminine construction. Remember the paradigm then. Okay, so we have most of the paradigm. Okay, we saw arche. Okay, that's a regular nominative construction, right? Where do we see that? I think we saw it in Mark. Arche. So that's the first part of the paradigm. And then we see, okay, all right, in verse 2, okay, arches. And that's in the genitive. And then we saw in John, in the dative, okay, arche, with the iota subscript. So the only thing that we need is archein and we'll be complete. The paradigm will be complete for the singular. Okay, so that'll be kind of neat. But it'll be archein. That's kind of usual. That's kind of neat. So Matthew chapter 1 verse 1, Biblos doesn't have an article, yet they say the. Mark chapter 1 verse 1, okay, all right, has arche, but yet they say the. Okay, it's acceptable. They could say the book and the beginning. Okay, fine, but just don't say something is indefinite if it doesn't have an article. Then you're going to contradict yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And John says anarche over here. You understand what I'm saying? And that doesn't have an article. But according to Luke, remember you have to go to verse 2. The Gospel of Luke is the only Gospel that you have to go to verse 2 to see that argument. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? So that's just the deal. Now let's prove it. Let's prove the point. It says over here, okay, all right, okay, ap arches. Okay, that's fine and dandy. It's taking the genitive, from the gospel, or from the beginning, actually, from the beginning. Okay, not in the beginning, but from the beginning. It says over here, from. Ek will be out, like that. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning, ap arches. Okay, fine. So the only thing we need to do is look to the New World translation, okay? And let's go, now do I have it in Luke though? I don't know if I have it in Luke, so I have to go back, Luke is right here. And let's go to verse 2. You understand what I'm saying? No, chapter 1 though. But you don't poke anything for, 2s and 3s and stuff like that, verses. It just says over here, just as, okay, these were, okay, handed down by Charles Taze Russell. Does it say that? Does it say Joseph Franklin Rutherford? Does it say that? Shit! It doesn't say it. It doesn't say it. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? The Great Pyramid of Egypt is on par with the Bible, said Charles Taze Russell. And then, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob were going to visit Joseph Franklin Rutherford for dinner in Beth Cherie. You understand what I'm saying? Millions now living will never die, and they're all dead. Okay, so it says over here, just as these were, okay, handed down to us by those who from the beginning. So they say the beginning here. They don't have the in brackets. They have the beginning, but there's no, and it will be taste. In that situation with that kind of a noun. Okay, let's get it there. In that situation, that kind of a noun, okay, which is let's see if I could get it here. Where's verse 2? In that situation, that kind of a noun, which is a feminine singular genitive noun, it will be taste, okay? It won't be te like if it was there, and it's in verse 5 in the prologue, but if it was there in John chapter 1, verse 1, if it was necessary, it would be te, but it's not. And then in the case of Biblos, is ha, right? And then in the other case, it would be a te, according to Mark chapter 1, verse 1, okay? Where you saw arche there in the beginning of the sentence, in the beginning of the clause. But it doesn't have an article in front of Biblos, arche in John 1, 1, and Mark chapter 1, verse 1, okay? and verse 2 of chapter 1 of Luke. So, I mean, that's kind of neat. It's just the only thing that the problem is just to remember it. But I guess you can remember it like you do. He is risen. You have it in verse 6 of all the Gospels except for John. The last chapter, except for John. He has it in the second to last chapter, and he has it in verse 9. His angel Kenyon is given glory to God the Father, to the Lord Jesus Christ, and in the Holy Spirit. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. Zonton. And it means that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were very, very much alive at the time of Jesus, and for our time, they're very much alive according to all the scriptures. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Including that one. Well, anyway, guys, so that was kind of interesting. So we can just, Matthew chapter 1, verse 1, Mark chapter 1, verse 1, John chapter 1, verse 1, and Luke chapter 1, verse 2, we can see that the is not necessary to make something definite in those situations, okay, in those cases, you understand what I'm saying? And if that's the case, then theos in the predicate position, okay, in the beginning of the clause, which gives a lot of force, okay, is stressing the fact of Logos' divinity, doesn't need an article. And it will be ha, but it doesn't need an article there for that what to be definite. Just like our che doesn't need an article for that to be definite in John 1:1a. Wow. All right, so I hope that you can give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment on the screen, and please subscribe to the channel because it's going to help the channel out. And at least give a thumbs up, and that will help the circulation of this video. Okay? So if you have any questions, leave it there on the board. And remember, this is full Reconstruction where we tackle. This is football season. You understand what I'm saying? Would to God that the Giants will be in the Super Bowl again. Okay? It just seems to be that the Giants, okay, seem to win Super Bowls, not back to back, but in close proximity. 1986 and 90. The LT era, and then the Manning era with Super Bowl 42 and Super Bowl 46. 2007 and 2011. It's just like close like that. And after that, they're god awful. You know what I mean? Especially the one now. And it's just like I heard something in football the other day. Falcon formation. 2 running backs. It's a balanced formation. When you see that, it's a Falcon formation. Well, you see things in Greek that there are what they are according to the rules, and you can't break the rules in Greek. So if people like Dan Wallace and other Greek scholars say that there are 10 different ways for a Greek noun to be definite without an article, well, you can't break the rules. And the rules are the rules. If you jump out of the Empire State Building, you're going down. You're not going up unless you have a jetpack and it's already on. You know what I'm saying? Take care, guys. Bye-bye now. Bye. Okay, here we go. And I drag this down, and that's about it. Okay, guys, take care.